And here we are, in the wreckage of our home, faced with such tremendous loss. We don't even really have words for it. The most we can do is try to find comfort in each other and try to continue on surviving. Tangent frowns. I just don't understand, she says. Why now? Why does it keep getting worse? Mars? Mars crosses her arms and sulks. What is the point of having all these kudos if I can't actually use them to, buy stuff we need? Hello? It's not like I can mail order more supplies through the wormhole. Yeah. Dees? Dees is examining a bit of rubble turning over in his hands. I wonder if we're ever gonna find, alien tech, he says. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, I guess. Oh. Socks. Socks was in geoponics. Cal, do you know if she's okay? I know it's hard, Cal says, fiddling nervously with the tassel on his shirt. But I just think, what would your mom do right now? She wouldn't complain, that's for sure. Yeah, she wouldn't. She'd probably work hard and try to fix it. Dad? It's been hard to talk to your dad about everything. Losing your mom, then losing the colony right after. It's too much to take. Neither of you know what to say. I mean, what do we even do with ourselves now? There isn't... the only place still up and running is engineering. Oh, wow. Maybe... we should wait until it's rebuilt, though. We need to rebuild. The first month of quiet passes, each day plodding one after the other. You still have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's nowhere else to go. Every day you wake up with others trying to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. You're assigned to help rebuild the walls. The first part of the month is spent just dragging away the wreckage, sorting it into salvage or recycling. By the time that's done, the crews disassembling parts for the stratospheric have delivered enough salvage that you can begin the work of patching up the walls. A sense of urgency permeates the crew. After everything, people need to feel safe. Dees is on the work crew with you, something he does begrudgingly. Walls didn't help the first time, he grumbles, whenever anyone asks for his opinion. We should just tear them all down and live like the animals do. If someone plated a bunch of buildings in my land, I'd be pissed off too. Maybe Dees is right. You don't go far as to sabotage the walls, but you certainly don't contribute. You and Dees drag your feet, sulking any time someone tells you to work harder. Surprisingly, you don't get in trouble. You're just kids after all. No one expects you to get back to work right away after a huge trauma like losing your home. And in my case, losing my mom. I know she would want me to work to rebuild, but it didn't help the first time. And Dees is right in the same note as Cal that the animals were here first and we're invading in their space. And there's 25. A 3-star. The sun finally dawned again on your birthday. You wake up early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after the long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent of the damage to the colony. You've been having trouble sleeping. Like most people, it's hard to find rest, crammed into the classroom with all the other kids and their families. And every time you close your eyes, you shake your head and clear the memories. You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders, not your blanket, that one's gone, and stare out as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. This is also our first birthday without our mom. Hey, kiddo, you hear when your dad comes and sits down beside you. I was looking for you. Nice view, huh? At least we got a rooftop patio out of this deal. He laughs a little at his own joke, then sort of trails off with a sigh afterwards. He puts his arm around your shoulders and you sit in silence for a while, watching the sunrise pick out all the broken glass littering the fields, shimmering like a field of stars. Neither of you really know what to say. It's clear your dad feels like he has to give you a pep talk, but there's an oppressive nature in the silence that makes it feel impossible for either of you to start. Eventually, he just sighs and his shoulders slump. I know things seem pretty bad right now, he says, squinting into the sunrise. It sounds like it's taking all of his effort not to cry. But it'll get better. It has to, right? You're not sure. At least your mom wasn't here to see this, he mutters. That's the silver lining, I guess. Yeah. Tammy, too. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your dad musters up a brave smile and pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. Happy birthday, my little Rudabug, he says. You know what it is before you open it. Your old medallion, the one your dad made with the sun on it to represent Earth, was broken during the attack. In all the chaos, you didn't even notice, but your dad did, and made you a new one. It's just like you remembered a similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Vertumna. You thank him and squint out at the swirling wormhole, still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year, but it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away into the daylight. Your dad slaps you on the back. What a birthday, huh? Here's hoping they all get better from here. You both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen, where they've put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps could be found. The colony nanoprinters, the few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take some time. Aunt Anne has coaxed the kitchen nanoprinters into making soy gruel and pressed bars. Life's sustaining but depressing. You and the other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Chief Administrator Seek has taken over as interim governor until the council can elect someone new. Last week, they held a mass funeral for everyone who died. There is talk of turning the Stratospheric's destroyed front half into a memorial shrine after everything useful has been salvaged. There's still so much to do. And now it's mid-quiet. Well, here we are, still in this wreckage. I wonder if there's anything to find? Dad? It's been hard to talk to your dad about everything, losing your mom, then losing the colony right after. It's too much to take. Neither of you know what to say. Cal. She would want us to work hard to rebuild. I was just checking on you. Where's Anemone? This wretched planet. Mars grumbles, gazing at the wreckage of the stratospheric. That was my ship. I mean, it wasn't just yours, it was everyone's. It was our home. Tangent places outside the engineering wing, the only building still standing. With everyone living in here, there's barely enough room to think. We can try to rebuild some more. You're assigned to help out in geoponics. The agriculturists have been hard at work trying to salvage what they can of the ruined fields and the destroyed greenhouses, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Your dad has taken over as chief cultivator. Succeeding your mom was already difficult for him, and now there's this. He's never been the kind of guy to hide from hard work, but he's been pretty distant lately. Cal's in geoponics too, of course. He smiles when he sees you. Hey, Solana, there's lots of stuff to do. What do you want to work on? We can check on socks too if we repair the animal pens. The pens only suffered minor damage during the attack. Weirdly, most of the damage seemed to come from inside the pens, as if the normally tame animals had been stirred into a frenzy. Tangent is also here, though it's not to help hammering and nail things. She's studying the animals, trying to figure out what could have influenced them. She takes blood and hair samples and readings with some sort of complicated brain scanning device. Interesting, is all she says, not explaining her findings to you or Cal. Everyone is worried that this will be the final nail in the coffin for your food supply after the famine last year. You try not to think about it too hard, instead focusing on just what you can do to help rebuild. Oh look, 28. You're eating in the mess tents when you hear something rumbling. Your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look around in alarm. Could it be another attack so soon? You hear shouting from outside. Someone runs into the tent. There's something falling from the sky, they shout. It's on fire. What? You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structure to gather in the colony square. People are squinting up at the milky, quiet sunlight, pointing out and gesturing wildly. It's impossible to miss the thing hurtling towards you from space, like a great big ball of fire coming straight for you. Is this it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor is going to land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you? It's another ship. Mars grabs your shoulder. It's another ship, she exclaims. Look, look, it's another spaceship from Earth. Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up unbelievingly at the rapidly approaching ship. The flames of its entry in the atmosphere dissipate, but the thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind it. Soon you can hear the whistle of it rippling through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. Whoa. It's an enormous ship coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down so it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throw your arms over your head, and squeeze your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touch down in geoponics, of course, plowing through the fields and grounding over what was left of the greenhouse. You're thrown to the ground from the force of the impact, and as shrapnel and small rocks zing past your head. It grins along like some roaring monster, cutting a great scar through the colony and kicking up an enormous cloud of dust. Finally, the ship comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried, half obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make out the stenciled letters. Heliopause. A hatch opens in its side and silhouettes begin to emerge. Is this like a second ship from the Vertumna project? Silhouettes with guns Soldiers march out of the dust, quickly surrounded all of the remaining colonists. More soldiers form two parallel lines from the ship to the square. Their guns in parade rest along the and lone figure strides down the center towards you. Greetings, fugitives of Earth. Of course. We're on another planet. And law enforcement from Earth is out to get us? Really? Really? A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. Chief Engineer Instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. He has a broad, easygoing smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of the soldiers, nor the smoking ruins of the ship behind him. I am Commander Loom, he says proudly. I am captain of the Heliopause. I have come to render aid and bring you to justice. Guess we'll see what he wants. Seek steps forward out of the crowd. You're not the commander of the Heliopause, they say firmly. Governor Udicott was expecting Commander Morikawa. Everyone is surprised. Udicott has been in communication with the ship for how long? I am the captain of the Heliopause, Loom repeats stubbornly, then adds, according to the chain of the command, we, sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole. Yeah, we suffered some losses too, but mostly and most devastatingly, it seems, in the long run, are soils from Earth, since that's had such a negative effect on us, especially last year. You can't help but notice how many soldiers exchanged looks this time. You wonder how many people had to die before Loom became commander. Did he kill people to get commander position? Tiger Claw. As the commanding officer, Loom continues, I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are all now subject to the laws of Earth. Seek bows. No, they stammer. There is no need for dramatics. We are a diminished colony, as you see. Governor Udicott died in the most recent attack, and Fluorescent passed away a few months ago. Even Technician Halitosis is gone. You see, we're quite leaderless. Wait, your mom? What would these Earth cops have wanted from your mom? You notice Chief Engineer Instance is being held with her arms behind her back. She glowers at Loom with unbridled hatred. Loom turns toward the assembled colonist. Well, why don't we fix that, he declares. Say hello to your new governor. You hear a few gasps of shock and outrage as Loom raises his hands placatingly. Let's not pretend you don't need our help, he says, and we could simply arrest you instead, but that's no need to demoralize your little colony further. And do what? Take us back to Earth on your wrecked ship? You're not going anywhere either, buddy. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think you have a choice in this. No one knows how to react. A new governor from Earth? Nearly 100 new colonists, most of them trained soldiers. What does this mean for the colony? The crowd disperses slowly, and the council members follow Loom back to the Heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. You track down your friends. So what do you think about these new people? Mars asks. Well, who knows? Maybe they're mostly soldiers, but maybe we can help them to understand and we can make friends. I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere. I'm going to have these Helios eating out of my hand in no time, Mars smirks. The entire colony, now twice as many of you, sets to work on salvaging the wreckage of the Heliopause, tearing it down and combining it with the Stratospheric's remaining engine section. Spirits are high, though these new colonists from the Heliopause aren't like any people you've met before. With their uniforms and weapons, they're more like an invading force than a rescue. You aren't sure what this means for the colony. Or for your future. And now it's the end of the month of quiet. Oh! As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around this new ship, the Heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together, you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. The Stratos engineering wing is the only reminder of your old colony. The Heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years, as well as a rich seed bank and working hydroponics. Finally, an end to the slow starvation you felt for years. They also have more guns and explosives than you've ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. Cal's not going to like that, that's for sure. A full stomach and a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most Stratocolonists to accept the Helios. In turn, the Helios decide that you criminals pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. You decide they aren't so different really. They're even Helio children, born among the stars, just like you. After a month of hard work, oh, is that our new room? It looks really cool! After a month of hard work, you and your dad move into your new quarters, and you have your own bedroom for the first time in your life. You place a picture of your mother on the shelves beside your bed. You step out into your very own balcony to watch the new colony, its grounds bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope? Excitement? What will this new day bring? You better get out there and find out. I guess, this time, now that we kind of know what we're getting ourselves into, let's go!